We like a noisy pie. You want to hear it when you cut it.
This is one of the coolest things in life. I'm Sam Braverman, chef owner of Lori Jayne. We're gonna take you around on my day off to eat and drink a bunch of stuff. We're gonna go to Mud Coffee. It's the best coffee in New York City. We are going to go to Stretch Pizza, run by Wylie Dufresne, American culinary legend, guy I grew up watching, and now he tells me how to cook food better. It's nuts.
This is so crazy we're doing this.
We're gonna go to Forsythia. It's become an obsession of mine for amazing Roman style pasta. This is a perfect red sauce pasta. This is so good. We're gonna go to Lullaby. It's an amazing New York City bar that we should all be more aware of. Tiny eyeballs, little sprinkles. It's gonna rock. Let's go. I don't normally start the day with 260 milligrams of caffeine, but I really want to look awake in this. This thing, it tastes awful. It's just terrible. Real New Yorkers, people from here, we travel by two means of transit, the train and the feet. You guys have a car.
We ignored that. We took the train. It made more sense.
So we're about to be at Mud Coffee. Growing up, Mud was primarily operated out of a truck. You know, Mud was a mainstay of my life from, I don't know, 8 to like 17. Yeah, you guys are where I first started getting consistently caffeinated. Because I had a buddy that lived over on Astor Place. Like the nighttime routine would be try to figure out how to smoke some weed, not figure it out because you're like 12. You just like burn a bunch of stuff. And then we would go around the corner to Plum Frite before they blew up.
Yeah.
That place has been a really big inspiration for what we do at my restaurant, Lori Jayne.
Yeah.
That and here, like those were just two cornerstones of growing up.
Greg and Nina, they started the truck back in 2000. You know, it was a hit, especially in Astor Place. It's kind of the mecca where everyone was coming together. They heard the music, good staff, good vibes, not trying too hard, not pretentious.
The truck
Baseball.
still runs now?
It's not. They're parked in a nice forest in New Hampshire at this
Okay.
point.
Would you ever sell the truck? I buy your coffee, that little cup you have on the counter, I got that for my dad for his birthday like 7 years ago.
Cute.
He uses it every day. Like, I still buy your coffee as gifts for people. Thank you for being like just hippie enough that it's not annoying, but it's genuine.
Totally.
You popped my coffee cherry. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Awesome.
We left Mud, we got coffee, it was great. Now, we are going to Stretch Pizza, and I'm gonna try really hard to not fangirl at Wylie Dufresne, one of the best American chefs of all time. It's ridiculous he's letting us come hang out. We might even make a pizza together. Anything is possible. I'm gonna try not to spontaneously combust, but it's just kind of insane that I'm standing next to this guy, this chef. I grew up watching Wylie on television, reading about WD-50, about Alder. I went to Dews when that opened.
Have you been here yet?
Yes, I love your pizza. That's part of why we're here. But I'm shooting my shot. I brought you our Lori Jayne buffalo sauce. It's a whole bunch of brown butter, chicken powder, and crystal hot sauce. And I would love if you would work with me to take Stretch, take Lori Jayne, make an awesome pizza.
Sure. So we do a buffalo square here, but I thought it'd be fun to do a round. So we start with chicken confit. So these are thighs that have been confit and shredded. And then what we do is we toss these in some buffalo sauce. This is 5-day dough. So this dough's been cold fermenting. It's nice. So we're gonna put some just straight low moisture mozzarella. What we do with many of our pies is cheese then sauce, because it does create a little bit of a barrier between the moisture and the crust.
I think it could be really cool if we could do maybe like some sort of alternating dollops, like a little bit of vodka, a little bit of buffalo, a little bit of vodka. Sure? Yeah?
Sure.
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Let me get some vodka sauce, 1 sec.
This is so crazy we're doing this.
So this is our vodka. Why don't you put the meat down in a way that you think makes sense? Leave some negative space there as you do it.
Gotcha.
And then we'll spread it out. Yeah, exactly. Vodka sauce down. Now, we put a little red onion. You okay with some red onion?
Go for it. I'll get nice and crispy,
Some
right?
red onion. Well, they won't get crispy per se because there's a lot of moisture underneath them. They'll probably just wilt a little bit, which is nice.
Okay.
So this is your mix, right?
Yeah.
What's
so
in here?
That's what we call our Buffalo 2.0 mise. Blue cheese, some grana padano cheese, some minced garlic, a little bit of lemon juice as well. And in the restaurant, when we serve this on our wings or our chicken sandwich, we garnish it with just a little bit of parsley at the end.
Smells good.
Can you do the launch? I'm gonna it up.
I'm definitely not gonna let you launch it.
Fantastic. There we go. Awesome. Just gonna have to clean your oven for like 2 hours. What temp do you guys bake at?
So we start our pie at a high temperature, 580, and we finish around 520. Because we make a New York style, and that's a double bake, right? That's a pie that's baked whole 18, 20 inches, and then it's a slice that gets refired. So we've had to try to capture that double bake texture in a single bake. See, noisy. We like to say, we like a noisy pie. You want to hear it when you cut it. I mean, that looks pretty good, no flop. Do you want a little bit of parm on there? What do you say?
I think a little bit of parm.
A little bit of parm. Do you want any
And-
greens? A little bit of scallion.
Let's do a smidge of chive. Let's go.
Cheers.
Hey, pizza.
There you go. That's holding up pretty well.
Woo! I haven't had yours, but this is pretty damn good. I know it's messy. It's good. It's a good mess.
But it's delicious. I think it's a little, for me, it's just a little wet. You know what I mean? I think it'd be nice if it was a little tighter.
Yeah. You know, get the chicken more sparingly dressed.
I mean, we never get a pie right the first time. Never.
Yeah.
So, but as a first try, it's pretty solid.
This is one of the
Delicious.
coolest things in life.
Making good pizza is hard, but it's a lot of fun.
And it just tastes really good. And it's not $1 million. It's like, how much is a pizza here?
$500,000.
$500,000. That's definitely not $1 million. It's really good, guys. Come to Stretch. I never get to go out to dinner. I'm usually at the restaurant or home with the baby. But on the rare occasions I do get to go out, this is the place I've been going to pretty much every time for the last year and a half.
Forsythia is a modern Roman trattoria. We've been open for 5.5 years here. When we're shaping all of our pasta, it's all done by hand. When we're extruding it, it's all done using a manual crank and tube. We make pasta really, 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 really well here. I'd like to think so, at least.
You do,
Naturally.
Yeah. When we started Lori Jayne, before we had our permanent location, I was doing, pop-ups under this banner called SILTY, which just stands for Shit I Like to Eat.
I love that.
It sounds like we have not dissimilar trajectory.
I came back from working in Italy for quite some time in the summer of 2019 and started a pop-up in my apartment, very similar, called Dinner Under the Stairs. And Wednesday through Saturday nights, I was doing 2 turns out of my apartment, which was really, really, really nuts. When we signed the lease here and when we opened here, it was obviously the middle of COVID, and it didn't really feel like we could convince people to eat a 10 to 15 course tasting menu outside in the middle of winter. Yeah. And so when we opened with the type of food that I had cooked in Rome, which is just slightly elevated trattoria fare, and that's been our bread and butter for 5.5 years now. It was a blessing in disguise.
So 2 of my favorite things you guys do are the amatriciana, that is one of my favorite pastas in the world, as well as the duck agnolotti, which my partner brings up every day of life that it is her favorite thing in the world. So
We have a few secrets, happy to show them to you. I'm gonna pass you off to Sydney, our CDC, and she's gonna show you how we cook those.
Here's our little bags of agnolotti before we cook them. Our duck choux. This is basically chicken stock that is cooked down with a bunch of roasted duck bodies, a little bit of salt.
and you guys keep the butter like nice and cold so it emulsifies all evenly, or?
So actually for service, we make butter. So we take milk, scald it, add a bunch of cubed butter, melt it like 90% of the way, and then immersion blend it so that we have like a stable emulsification for like the entirety of service. It's like the best trick I've ever seen in a kitchen. I've always used cubed butter.
This is so cool, I'm like instantly learning. Awesome, yeah.
These are really quick cook. They're like maybe a minute. The pasta itself is really thin, really delicate. Yeah, so this is like our most popular pasta and also our fastest pickup, which works really well for us. So I just finished it with a little bit of lemon, and now I'm just looking for like big bubbles basically. And I like bring it about 90% of the way of where I want the sauce. and then I'll kill the heat and just use friction to like tighten it up at the end.
It's like gripping onto the angolotti. It's not clumpy, it's not heavy, it just drapes it, bathes it.
And then just chives. There she is.
It's really hard to imagine better pasta than this. The dough is just so thin and delicate, perfectly al dente. There's just a smidge of chew on it. The sauce is luxurious without being overwhelming. And then inside we have short rib, yeah?
Yeah, so we have braised short rib, takes about 3 days. We butcher and then we braise and then we separate the vegetables and the jus. We blend the vegetables and basically mix all that together with a bit of cream, parm.
Yeah, like, and at the end, if you grab a little bit of like focaccia and you just like run it through, do the sop and whatnot.
Scarpetta is necessary.
That's the word for it, scarpetta?
Yeah.
I mean, we were learning so much today. This is awesome. I'm gonna free up my schedule and come trail behind you and learn how to actually do this.
Right.
This is so good. This is Forsythia's rigatoni amatriciana. Don't get angry if I say it wrong. Perfectly al dente pasta with just this much bite while still being soft and supple. And then as you root around in the pasta, we're gonna start to find the guanciale is gonna be the pork jowl, the cheek. The meat is a little bit crispy. The fat has really rendered and become like a savory, porky meat. This is a perfect red sauce pasta. There's not much more to say. We can talk more, but we should just eat it. This is so good.
Last stop, we are at Lullaby, a fantastic New York bar. I used to come here a lot when I was younger. Before I was a taken man, I would go here on classy little dates. And these days, whenever I'm on the Lower East Side or heading home, it's a great last stop. Unpretentious, high quality, great vibe, nice people, out of fingers. Let's go inside.
For the last few months, I haven't been drinking alcohol. It was getting to a bad place, so I made a change, but that doesn't mean you can't still go to great bars and have fun drinks with cool people. To that effect, this is Liz. Liz is Lullaby. Liz makes this place happen.
Our new NA menu for you.
Very cool.
Okay, so what's the vibe for today?
It's warm. You know I like Dole Whip. You know I like bubbles. Let's do number 2, Italian cream soda dream.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's just lemon, lime, some cane syrup, coconut cream that we use in the Dole Whip, which is a pineapple soft serve made by Dole. A little bit of the actual Dole Whip soft serve, which is non-alcoholic. After we shake it, we top it with tonic and soda.
NA drinks don't have to suck. They can be real things, and I appreciate you putting the time and effort in to make a thing, make a real thing.
I'll never make someone feel weird about not drinking alcohol, you know?
And it's got that like, you know, that bitter note from like the quinine, the tonic or whatever, like it rounds off as if you are getting the satisfaction of an alcoholic-based beverage.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love this place because it feels right. It doesn't feel like it's trying too hard, because it isn't, but they are trying. This has been a theme of all the places we go to today. There is intentionality, there is care without pretension, without price gouging. No one is too cool or not cool enough to go to Lullaby. It can be for each and every one of us. It's really cool that you guys watch this, that you with Lori Jayne. You can bleep that out. It's fine. That's how I talk. And that's it. That's the end. Be excellent to one another.